Hey, I'm Jason Kincaid for TechCrunch TV, and I'm here with CrunchGear editor John Biggs. Wave, John.
Howdy.
And today we're going to talk about the big news this morning, which was for Google TV. And obviously, we first heard about Google TV earlier this year at Google I/O, but now it's finally, we're seeing all the features it's going to have, all the third-party applications it's going to launch with. John, what was your initial take on which app partners Google's already landed?
Well, you're going to have all your basic guys. You're going to have your Pandoras, your Napsters, and you're basically having a full app store. So that you're dealing with an Android installation on a set-top box, which is actually pretty exciting. What's really going to be the killer app that I wrote about is going to be a Skype video chat. You're also going to have a service called Vid coming from Logitech, which is also sort of a video chat system, which will allow you to chat with laptops, PCs, and other TVs. And it's all based around sending somebody an email, inviting them to a chat, and you can start chatting right on your TV. I think that's really the killer app, the communications portion of this whole system.
Okay. And what about some of the entertainment ones? You mentioned Napster. Napster was not the one that excited me most out of all of the apps. The ones that caught my eye, which we already knew about, were Amazon Video on Demand and Netflix. How do you think Amazon Video on Demand is going to compare with what Apple offers through Apple TV?
Well, Amazon Video on Demand is pretty cool. I've used it in some other services. I think the real value here is coming from Netflix. Amazon Video on Demand isn't quite as popular as Netflix. Plus, you have a full library of videos that you can watch almost immediately from Netflix. Um, it's going to be interesting to see who really comes out ahead here in terms of video sharing and video streaming. It seems to me that Netflix has a really good head start and is probably gonna take this one.
Mm. And what about one thing that excited me, and I may write a little bit more about this later, is this web app built for the TV. This is something that we saw with mobile, where sites would basically make an optimized version that's good for mobile. And now we're seeing that there's a handful of websites that Google's featuring where these content owners and publishers have reworked their site and you don't need to install an app. What are the implications for this?
Well, generally, you're going to have a way to get your email, for example, on a big screen, and that historically has been a huge problem. That's why you don't see a lot of these app stores and things on TVs right now. As the guys are pointing out, the Panasonic TVs have had Skype on them for years. Actually, I think for probably about a year and a half, but nobody knows about it because nobody really cares. But when you have a set-top box that can do all this stuff, and you have dedicated websites using an open language to allow you to do any number of things, including create to-do lists, read your email, read blogs, that sort of thing. You're going to be dealing with the same situation as you have now when you create a mobile version of your website and you get more page views, essentially, because it's easier to read on a phone or a mobile device.
So I guess the big question then through all this is this something people actually want? This is not the first time they've tried to hook the internet up to a TV. Are all the parts finally coming together for a product that might be compelling enough for people to use, or do you think that this is just one more thing that's going to get a lot of attention and just kind of fade away in the next year?
Well, people need this. They don't. I don't think they particularly want it right now. But what needs to happen is this sort of thing needs to become commonplace, and it has become commonplace over the years with devices like TiVo, for example, or the Apple TV, or anything from Western Digital or SanDisk. Those devices that hook up to a TV allow you to stream video and audio from your computer
But
or
but
from
those
your
are
disk drives.
those are exclusively for consuming content, right? I don't go on my TiVo or my Apple TV to browse. I mean, to look at the web, to read stats. It's more just I turn it on and I'm flipping through channels, or I'm watching these shows. Do you think that this extra level of interaction that's required to really take advantage of the full web, which is what Google TV is going to offer, is that something people are going to want to do? Are they missing the full web to begin with?
I think you're getting this sort of second screen sort of situation where you're sitting and watching a TV show and browsing on your iPad or using the computer or whatever. I mean, Grey's Anatomy is a really great show, but I mean, it doesn't hold my interest the entire time because sometimes like Meredith says something stupid and I just get upset.
That
The
Meredith.
the real value of this sort of second screen sort of situation is you're going to be able to do something else while watching a TV show. So you're going to have a picture-in-picture in the corner. You can check your email if you get a tweet, that sort of thing. Is it going to affect our brains? Absolutely, because we're going to be so distracted from TV that we're not going to be able to watch TV, which is kind of scary. But is it changing the way that we're going to interact and starting to interact with devices? Absolutely. And do we want it? I'm not sure right now. But eventually, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have a TV that's more a computer than anything else.
Got it. Well, I think that does it for this roundup of today's Google TV news. And we look forward to talking more about this as Google TV prepares to affect your brain, which you heard from John first.